A very good afternoon to everyone. I'd like to welcome all our class 11 students to our online live classes, and this is our first geography class. Before I start my class, I'd like to brief you about the question pattern for your examination. See, generally geography is being divided into your two papers. The first set of paper comprises of your theory part, and the second part is basically dealing with your practicals and your project. So the marks distribution is accordingly. For your theory part, it is out of 70 marks, okay, and your practical and your project marks, it is out of 30 marks. In class 10 also you have done geography, because geography is not a new subject to you all. In class 10, generally when you looked at the ICC syllabus, okay, there was an option that was basically been provided to you for the second part or your section B of your question paper, where you had an option in order to choose among the chapters. Because the first part, that is your section A, the compulsory question had your topographical map as a compulsory question, that was question number 1, and then the second one was your map of India. Then under your second part, you had questions from all the chapters and you had choice there. But that is not a scenario here in class 11. Now in class 11, you cannot take the risk of choosing your chapters because you don't have topo sheet here in class 11. Your part 1 or your first paper, okay, your section A that you have, where you have your compulsory question. Question number 1 comprises of all the short type question, carrying 2 marks each. 10 questions would be coming from all the chapters that you have here under your syllabus. Okay, then you'll be having your world map. This time there's no India's map. In class 11 syllabus, you have to deal with the world map. Then in the second part, you'll be getting ample amount of your choices. 7 set of questions will be coming from your different units, and from there you are supposed to do any 4 questions. So today I'll be briefing you all about the first chapter. The first chapter in your textbook under your unit 1, that is your geography as a discipline. Now this chapter is basically dealing with the introductory part and question. Now this chapter's explanation is explanation is just for your information as to why geography is important. You have been studying geography since class 6 or class 7, and before that also geography was included under the category of your social science. So you all know the importance of geography, isn't it or not? So from the examination point of view, from unit 1, we will be starting with our second chapter. So if you have your textbook with you all, you can refer to the chapter 2 from unit 1, that is your age and origin of the earth. So today we'll be starting with the very first chapter. It is chapter number 2. Chapter number 2, and the name of the chapter is your age and origin of the earth. Age and origin of the earth. And see, whatever is there in your textbook is not there in your reduced syllabus for your IIC. Okay? Because there are many topics that has been deleted. There are so many theories that are basically highlighting as to what basically played a major role in order to create your earth. As we all know, Earth is considered to be a very, very unique planet. If you all remember correctly in your class 9 syllabus, the first chapter that you dealt was Earth as a planet, Earth as an example of a unique planet. Now there are so many heavenly bodies there in the solar system, and out of the different categories of your heavenly bodies, one category are your planets. Now there are many planets there in the solar system, and amongst all the planets, the major planet that you have here in the solar system is your Earth. Now Earth is considered to be a very, very unique planet because it is the planet where your life is sustained. It is the planet where your atmosphere is present. It is the planet where you can see your presence of your water is there. You have your lithosphere there, the presence of your ozone layers. These all are your different factors which is allowing life to sustain here in the earth. So geography, basically the study of geography basically revolves around your earth, the structure of the earth, you study about it, the different varieties of your factors that are responsible for allowing life to sustain here in the earth, the atmospheric condition of the earth. So everything revolves around the earth. You have your hydrosphere here in the earth, which talks about your water bodies and your circulation of your water bodies, either in the form of your seas, either in the form of your oceans, your presence of your freshwater resources, and the primary source are your major source of your precipitation. So everything that is allowing your Earth to be an example of a unique planet. Okay, unique planet. That is the reason why your Earth is considered to be one major topic that we will be highlighting here in your class 11's syllabus. Now, Earth is a very, very unique planet, and you should be noting down because we are studying so many things about the Earth. So first and foremost, it's very, very essential. For example, when you talk about your identity, okay, my identity as Pooja Pradhan. So my identity, I came into this world on this date, this year, this month. So you should be noting down because from then my era started, from then my age started, okay, my life started. Similarly, when you are talking so many things about the Earth, it is very, very essential for you all to note down the age and origin of the Earth. So we'll be highlighting here in detail. So let me deal with the introductory part. Please pay attention. Age and origin of the Earth are shrouded in mystery, meaning that it is wrapped and things cannot be explained here as to when Earth really came into being. When was the date? When was the year when Earth was created? Okay, so there isn't any theory automatically highlighting the real and the accurate picture as to when Earth came into being. Nobody exactly knows as to when and from where your Earth came into being. Several scientists have tried to calculate the age of the Earth and probe into its origin, but no final conclusion has been arrived at till date. The results and the finding of the research in regard to the age and origin of the Earth are so varied and contrasting that it becomes impossible to arrive at a convincing conclusion which may be acceptable to the majority of your scientists. So many scientists, so many geologists have come up with different varieties of your theories, okay, basically highlighting as to when Earth came into being. But automatically, none of the theories are matching with one another. So you are having contrasting viewpoints. Okay, you are having varied viewpoints, varied differences in your theories and all. So it becomes very, very difficult for us to arrive at a particular convincing conclusion. Okay, this exactly is the method. Okay, this exactly is the theory that is actually responsible for creating your Earth. So there is lots and lots of confusion here. So here in this chapter, we will be taking into account all those varied observations. We will be taking into account all those contrasting theories that different scientists and your geologists have opined regarding your age and origin of the Earth. Okay, now the first one. Now see, age of the Earth. It is generally believed that Earth is 4 to 5 billion years. Okay, so it's generally believed. And here, Earth is either 4 billion years old or Earth is either 5 billion years old. That is the age that is basically been highlighted here in this chapter. So here we're talking about different methods as to how we came to the conclusion that the age of the Earth is 4 billion or 5 billion years. So the age of the Earth here in this chapter, they have concluded saying it that it is 4 billion or 5 billion years old. So that is the conclusion, the convincing conclusion that we have come at the end. Okay, basically talking about the age of the Earth. It said that almost nothing is known of the condition of the Earth during the first 1 billion of the years before the consolidation of the crust. So as we study about the structure of the Earth, when you see a Earth and when you study about the structure, now the structure of the Earth is basically been divided into your 3 primary layers. First, you have the crust, also termed as a lithosphere. Crust is basically been followed by your mantle, and there in the interior of the Earth's surface, you have your core. Okay, so they say Earth was created, Earth came into being first 1 billion years till the time the consolidation, till the time your crust or your lithosphere was created. Nothing is known about the origin of the Earth. Only after your crust or only after your lithosphere was created, we study about different characteristics, features of your lithosphere. We see that lithosphere is considered to be the topmost or is considered to be the thinnest layer of the surface of the Earth. Till the time the consolidation of lithosphere of your crust was not taken, nothing was known about the Earth. And for the creation part of the lithosphere, 1 billion years is given to them separately. Then they say modern scientific methods are basically utilized to know about the age and have been employed for the last few centuries. Some methods to estimate the age of the Earth are given below. So we'll be talking about each method one by one. Okay, age and origin of the Earth. Now here you can see different methods which are utilized in order to find out the age of the Earth. Now the first one is your tidal force method. Okay, now tidal force method is basically been divided into your two parts. First one, this is your first method. Okay, and this is your second method, and both these are classified under the category of your tidal force method. See, under the first method, okay, you basically ought to highlight the relationship your Earth is sharing with the Moon. As we all know, Moon is considered to be the natural satellite of the Earth. So many scientists believe that Moon originated from the Earth. As you see, your Moon is always revolving around the Earth, acting as its natural satellite. So when the Moon was created, okay, for the first time, it was very close to the Earth. So the tidal friction that was there between your Earth and your Moon was at maximum. It was very, very high. In due course of time, your Moon moved away from the Earth, hence the tidal friction to reduce. Now, if you come up with a method via which you can find out the rate at which your tidal friction is decreasing, we will be able to calculate the age of the Earth. Is that clear? So this is your first method under the category of your tidal force method. So in your first method, we will be taking into account your tidal friction that is existing between your Earth and the Moon. So let me read this part. First method, it was believed that earlier the Moon originated from the Earth because it revolves around the Earth and behaves like its satellite. So they say that Moon is considered to be the natural satellite of the Earth because it's always revolving around the Earth. It is also believed that Moon was very close to its Earth at the time of its birth, and the tidal friction of the Moon was maximum. It was very, very high when it was very close to the Earth. As time passed, Moon moved away from the Earth and its tidal friction to reduced. The age of the Moon and the Earth, and consequently the age of the Earth, is calculated depending upon the rate of decrease of the tidal friction of the Moon. On this basis, the age of the Earth has been calculated as your 4,000 million or 4 billion years. So I hope you people understood the first method under your tidal force. The tidal friction that was there between your Moon and the Earth, that was maximum when Moon was created in the beginning because it was very close to the Earth. In due course of time, Moon moved away from this Earth. So tidal friction also decreased. So if you come to the method via which you can find out the rate at which your tidal friction is decreasing, then we can calculate the age of the Earth. So this is your first primary method under your tidal force method, which is utilized in order to find out the age and origin of the Earth. Is that clear? Now the second one, see, under your second method, they basically say there are scientific studies that are basically undertaken via which you are studying about your tides and the rotation of the Earth, which has proved that every year the Moon is moving 13 centimeters away from the Earth. Okay, and today the distance that your Earth and your Moon, the distance between your Earth and your Moon, as mentioned there in your textbook, is written down 3,84,000 kilometers away from the Earth. So you know, every year Moon is moving 13 centimeters away from the Earth. Okay, and the distance that the Moon is maintaining from the Earth at the present day context is your 3,84,000 kilometers. So when you divide that 3,84,000 kilometers by 13 centimeters per year, you get 2.95 billion years. So this is how we are able to find out the age of the Earth. So let me read this once, okay, and I'll elaborate on this explanation more. The second method under your tidal force method, now you all highlighted that Moon is moving away from the Earth regularly. That's the reason why your tidal friction is also decreasing. So every year, okay, every year according to your modern scientific finding and all, every year your Moon is moving 13 centimeters away from the Earth. So scientific study of tides and rotation of the Earth has proved that Moon is moving away from the Earth at the rate of 13 centimeters per year. So you have to note down this. This is very, very important. Okay, so all these findings that 13 centimeters is moving apart, these all are your findings which you have drawn after analyzing it in a very, very systematic manner, and a scientific approach is utilized here in order to get that movement of your Moon away from the Earth. at present, the moon is 3,84,000 kilometers away from the earth. So the distance between your moon and the earth today is 3,84,000 kilometers. Okay, so that is the distance. The present, this is the present distance between the moon and the earth. It's 3,84,000 kilometers. And every year, moon is moving 13 centimeter per year. Okay, every year moon is moving 13 centimeter per year. Every year moon is moving 13 centimeter away from the earth. So if you divide this 3,84,000 kilometers by 13, you get 2.95 billion years. So this is the calculation that is done under your second method, basically related to your tidal force, because here also we are taking into account your movement of your moon. And movement of your moon can be associated with your tidal force method. So when you divide 3,84,000 kilometers, I'm repeating it once again, 3,84,000 kilometers, the working is not given there in your textbook. Okay, so if you divide that by 13, you get 2.95 billion years. So division, that is 3,84,000 divided by 13 gives you 2.95 billion. So that is the age of the moon. Moon was created after the earth was created. So it is roughly estimated that earth came into being earlier than the moon. So the age of the moon is approximately 2.95 billion years, or approximately we can say 3 billion years. So the age of the earth can be concluded under the category of your 4 billion years. See, at present the moon is 3,84,000 kilometers away from the earth. The moon would have taken about 2.95 billion years to move 3,84,000 kilometers away from the earth at the rate of 13 centimeters per year. Since the earth was born much earlier than the moon, the age of the earth is determined at 4 billion years on the basis of their calculation. So this is the second method under your tidal force method, which can be utilized how we are finding out the age of the earth. Okay, first we are finding out the age of the moon. With the help of your moon's age, we are roughly calculating the age of the earth. Now the second method will be your method of sedimentation. Sedimentation is associated with the creation of your sedimentary rock. So let's deal with that. And your process of sedimentation is taken into account as to how this method too can be utilized in order to find out the age of the earth. Okay, now second one is your method of sedimentation. Sedimentation is that primary method which is utilized in order to create your sedimentary rocks. Now sedimentary rocks are your second categories of your rock that are basically being created, also termed as your stratified rocks. But before understanding a sedimentary rock, it is very, very essential for you all to have a brief understanding about your primary rock. Amongst all the three varieties of your rocks, your primary rocks are your igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are considered to be a primary rock because they were the first rocks that were basically being created after your volcanic eruption. So when a volcano erupts, the molten material from interior of the earth's surface basically comes out on the surface, okay, cools down, solidifies, leads to a creation of the igneous rock. Now these igneous rocks, when they are exposed to your different factors of your denudation and your weathering, undergoes the process of breaking down of these primary rocks. The disintegrated materials are basically being carried away. Okay, a process of sedimentation is taking place, which is leading to your creation of your sedimentary rock. So even your process of sedimentation is also one primary factor allowing us or helping us to find out the age of the earth. Let me read this part. See, sedimentary rocks are deposited by the various agents of denudation, like your water, and under your water you can cite the example of your running water, that is your rainwater, or your river water. Second one would be your wind, and third one would be your snow. Because in your higher altitude region, where your temperature is very, very low, you don't experience rainfall as a form of precipitation there. You experience snowfall as a form of precipitation there. So they are your different agents of denudation. The process of sedimentation continued ever since the earth cooled down from the liquid state, and it's still continuing. So here they are talking about the ever continuing process when the first variety of your rocks was created after the liquid that basically oozed out from the interior of the earth's surface cooled down. And this liquid that they are talking about here is none other than your magma. Because when a volcanic eruption takes place, this magma comes out on the surface, cools down, leads to a creation of your igneous rock. So since the time igneous rock or the first primary rocks were created, they underwent the process of denudation by your different agents of your weathering, like your running water, okay, like your snowfall, okay, like your river water, like your wind and all. That underwent the process of your denudation, and they carried away all these materials, and your sedimentation took place, leading to your creation of your second varieties of your rock, termed as your sedimentary rock. The continuing sedimentation resulted into the thickness of your sedimentary rocks. If you are able to know the thickness of the sedimentation and the annual rate at which your thickening is taking place, then the age and formation of the first sedimentary rock on the earth's surface can be determined with the help of the estimation of the age of the earth. And there is a formula that is utilized here. Please note down that formula. It's there in your textbook also. Please note it down. How we can calculate the age of the earth. See, age of the earth can be calculated, okay, by dividing the thickness of the sediment by the annual rate of the deposit of the sediments. Okay, so under your sedimentation process, this is the formula that is utilized in order to find out the age of the earth. So if you can find out the thickness of the sediment, okay, and if you can find out the rate at which every year your sediments are basically being added and accumulated, you can find out the age of the earth. And according to this sedimentation method also, we have come to the conclusion that earth is 5 billion years. Okay, so these are your two methods. In our today's class, we will be ending with these two methods which are utilized in order to find out the age of the earth. Thank you.